Okay, just before I forget.
Cool. All right, Loki.
Oh no, she's gone. It's obviously going to be a day of tech today.
Yeah.
Oh, you're there. We just can't see
We can
you.
hear you. Yeah, we just can't see you now.
Who, me?
Yeah,
Oh.
you lost your camera, love.
Oh, yeah, start video. It's gone again. No, that's... Oh,
Don't panic. There's no rush.
I just hate these things.
I know, but there's no rush. The more frustrated you get, the worse it will be.
I know. Oh, I don't know. It's because I'm not on my normal things. All the things are different.
Okay,
Allow.
so what are your options where it says video?
Connect. Allow. Is that better?
Woo.
Now you're screen sharing, honey.
We can't see you though.
Oh, I can see me. Now it says stop share. Oh, now that's gone.
Yeah, because I did that.
Oh. I don't know.
Yeah, we
Right, hang on. Can you see us? Because we can hear you and see you now.
I can see Julianne. I can't see anybody else.
Right, so that means we need to change your view. So usually in the top right-hand corner, there's a button that says view.
Yeah, that isn't there. That's why I couldn't find it, because it's not there today.
Is there 9 dots?
Nope. There's just the full screen arrow. If I go full screen, I just get Julianne bigger.
Oh,
Hey, no one wants that.
Oh, now I've got, yeah. It's coming up with people when they speak then. I've got Sarah now.
Right, so you've got speaker view, that's why. You've not got gallery.
Yeah, I couldn't see that, how to get that. Because it's gone through a different thing. What's that up there? That's record. Mute, stop video, participants, share screen.
It'll be around your top right.
Yeah, no, all there is the little exit full screen or go full screen. There's participants. Let's close that. No, still only gives me exit or full screen. Doesn't matter if I can't see anybody, as long as I can see you.
Yeah, it's still not cool though, is it? Because it's part about being a community.
Well, yeah, but we can't have it. We can't have it.
Maybe try going out of full screen and then see if the view button pops up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, I did that. I'm doing it through my browser because it wouldn't do it through the normal one. Now it might be something to do with Google.
Oh, I do it through Google.
Changed my Google account. Sorry?
I do it through Google, but if the view is to do with Zoom, so it shouldn't matter how you get into it, whether it's via your browser, your phone, your computer.
No.
It's your bit in Zoom that needs
That's
to.
It's just not there. More only gives you disable video receiving.
No.
Settings. General background. About. No.
What are you two? Sorry, something to the cats. I'll put me on mute.
No. No, when somebody speaks, I'm seeing them. I can now see you, Katie.
Yeah, it's because it's on speaker view.
There we are. Now I've got Julianne back again. Yeah.
Can you, in fact, if I enable you to share your screen now, and then maybe we can see it for you.
Select window or screen. Connected task course. Only share Firefox with sites you trust. No, it's because it's Firefox probably, isn't it? Allow. Nope.
Right, hang on. I can see. So that you've got 9 dots there where it says on the left of your sharing screen. No, to the left.
Oh, there. I can see it now. Yes, there. That wasn't there just now. Doesn't do anything though.
Right.
It's 6 dots. Doesn't do anything.
Okay, click on start video at the bottom.
That brings me back onto my screen. Still nothing on there. It's something to do with the fact that I changed my. We don't use Google, as you know, but I do have to have a Google account for some things. And it's always been on the Woof one, and today I changed it to my own account. So I think it's probably something to do with that.
I've never seen Zoom look like this in a browser window.
Blame Francis, because he won't use Windows or Google. I agree with him, but it is a pain sometimes.
Okay. Unfortunately, then I think you're going to be stuck tonight with whoever's talking.
Yeah, unless you want to carry on for a minute, and I will shut it all down and see if I can get Google back again.
Yeah, if you want to try that, go out and come back in again.
That. Shall I do that? Shall I leave the meeting? All right. See what happens.
All right, love. Shame. I need to unlock the room. Hang on. Okay. Should we sing happy birthday whilst we're waiting?
No.
All the best people are Virgos.
Hey, be careful what you're saying, young lady. There's a very fiery Sagittarius right here.
Oh, it's my birthday on Saturday, so I'm
This coming Saturday.
Yeah.
Oh, ladies, birthday people.
Birthday month.
It's my mum's and Jake's on Saturday as well.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Wow.
Good day for birthdays.
Yeah.
Except being 9/11.
Yeah, a date you don't forget.
No.
Yeah, right. My sister's a Virgo. We are very, very opposite. Right. Come on, Susie.
Hello.
I think we're going to need a calm connection more than ever when she joins eventually.
Being stared at by 2 cats.
Oh, yeah.
I can only see one.
There's Puppy.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
There he is.
No,
Sorry about the mess.
handsome.
Oh.
These are my needy 2. My needy pair.
How are you getting on with the foster? Whilst we're waiting, let's chat.
Foster, sorry. Yeah, so I poked him by accident the other day. It was literally by accident. I put his treats down behind the futon and he's normally at the opposite end from wherever I am. And I wasn't really paying attention as I put them down and was like sort of poked him because he was at the end I wasn't expecting him to be.
Oh, no.
And then we sort of looked at each other and were like, oh.
Did that really happen?
Did you just touch me? And I'm like, I didn't mean to, Shiva. I'm very sorry. It was not on purpose. And he sort of hissed at me and sort of backed off a little bit and then sort of continued to sort of look at me like, what just happened? And I'm like, I don't know, baby. I'm so sorry. And then he walked back over to the other side and just settled down. And I was like, that's normal cat behavior. Good on you, Shiva. He didn't just like freeze like he would have done in the past. And then I noticed he's been eating his treats while I'm in the room. So he's still behind the futon, but he is like interacting.
Progress.
And I'm like, that's progress.
Yeah, definitely. That's brilliant, Han. Well done.
We were both a bit like, what happened?
I bet you were both a bit like that.
We were like, oh, sorry.
Right, Miss Screeves, here we go. What's the skinny? Where are we? Susie.
Are you on mute?
She is.
Muted again. Same again. It won't. I've opened Google up, but it still won't connect in Google. So I don't know what's gone wrong. Okay. Never mind. We'll carry on.
So you can hear whoever's speaking and you can see whoever's speaking. You just can't see everyone. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay. Are you happy to continue with that?
Yes, that's fine.
Have you got Francis around?
Yes.
Do you want to ask for help? I know he seemed a little bit put out last time.
Oh, he's like that.
Okay.
He gets a bit. I get cross when he does exactly the same as I've just done, and it works for him when it didn't work for me. That does make me cross, and that happens all the time. That's a male-female thing, or a geek non-geek thing.
Okay. So do you want to carry on as it is, or do you want to get help?
Well, you would like it. I mean, it doesn't bother me, to be honest.
Doesn't bother me. We can see you and hear you, right. Susie. It's not on us. It's about you.
That's okay. No, it doesn't bother me.
Okay.
So we'll carry on.
Okay.
Otherwise,
fine.
That's another 10 minutes gone by the time he's sorted it out.
Okay. Okie dokie. Right. Lock the meeting. Hang on. Okay, good evening, ladies. Welcome to module 4. How quick has that gone? I can't believe we're on the last week. I'm just shocked. So before we get into this evening and we start talking about the physical body, I want us to do a little bit of calm connection, especially with some tech issues. And it's not just been Susie, we have had others as well. My sound and Sarah's sound. I think Katie's the only one amongst us that's tech compass mentis today. So
The heat.
Indeed, I blame that too. So ladies, let's do a calm connection. So get yourselves comfortable and close your eyes when you're ready. Let's come into the moment by taking a nice deep breath in and out. Putting your left hand on your heart. Taking another deep breath in and out. Putting your right hand on your tummy or below your belly button and your sacral area, and another nice deep breath. All the way in as far as you can. Hold for a second and all the way out. And let's just take a moment to just connect with our body and our breath. Bringing our awareness to any sounds around you. Any sounds in the room or sound just outside. Just allowing the breath to flow through the body. So it flows in, around, and out. Feeling your heartbeat under your hand and the rise and fall of the body under your other. Just bringing your awareness to where the breath is sitting in the body. Maybe it's in the nose or the throat, the chest or the tummy. Just notice the breath coming in and the breath going out. And taking a final deep breath and then taking your time to come round and open your eyes when you're ready. Okay. Sadly, Susie's frozen. It looks like she's necking a pint of vodka. So I can't actually see if she's with us or not.
Yeah, I'm here. I've just thought of one thing I will do. So carry on. But I will do something else. So I'll go away and come back.
All right, love. Okay, so let's keep momentum because I'm conscious that we're 20 minutes in. Let's see if we can get Susie online so she can join us properly. So welcome, ladies. Let's start off with our round robin and let me know how you've got on this week. So let me know how you managed to get on with the homework, the meditations, the journal prompts, and kind of how you've been doing with yourself. You know, we're almost at the end of the course. So, you know, we've been building week after week after week, and I'm really interested to know, you know, what you've been experiencing and how you're doing. So let's start with the birthday girl.
Thank you.
Have I mentioned it's your birthday to everyone? Birthdays if we're celebrating.
Yeah, 35.
Really?
Had hard life. No, I've decided that now I'm going to flip the numbers. So I'm 35.
You're never 53.
Yeah. 53 today.
Wait,
My brain made that 43 and you're 53. Whoa.
Wow, you don't
Seems
look it.
obviously kind.
Okay, now you've completely shocked me. Tell us how you've been getting on this week.
Yeah, it's been a challenging week in terms of practicalities, because we've had a real ASBO guests in the Airbnb next door, so we were very short on sleep, but it's been an amazing week. Been really good week. Yes. I've been aware of where I am on the emotional scale, and I've sort of been at a base of so my base has been optimism and hopefulness, and I've had moments where I've gone right up to the top of the scale, so it's been amazing.
Wow.
Yeah. And I felt much more stable's a bit of a strong word. It makes me sound like I was a nutter before.
No, not at all. Not at all. No, it doesn't. I know what you mean.
Steady, maybe steady is a kinder word. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Really enjoyed the message from the card, see your own message, and the meditation, my light is unique. Found the energy to really crack on and complete everything I needed to do for my APA course.
Wow.
And yeah, enjoyed the journaling too. The other thing is the cats have been like moths to the flame as well. I'm close to my cats anyway, but they've, especially Noodle, she's been at my side, really extra pairy, and so yeah, it's definitely taught me how you present and your emotions affect everyone around you, animals in particular.
Yeah. It sounds like you've had an amazing week.
It's been a really good week. I've been able to look at things in a different light. I felt more myself because I'm living more from my heart again.
How does that
I've
feel?
got that angry, crusty layer, and I've learned that I don't need that to protect myself. That it's better to let the heart be a bit vulnerable, because if you manifest love, that's really what you're going to attract back. If you become a bit hard and cut off and angry, then that's what you're putting out.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We attract what we focus on, for sure.
Exactly. So even if you think you're doing it for the right reasons, really, it's taught me it's not what's good for you, it's not what's best for you. So yeah, it's been brilliant. Thank you so much.
Like I said, I haven't done anything. You
have. You've completely turned things round. So
I haven't done that. You've done that. It takes a lot of strength and courage to do the work, to do the journaling, to do the meditation, to do the reflection. And all of that is on you guys. I'm just kind of like the, not crutch. What's the better analogy? Like the
you've been the catalyst.
Yeah. And I'm just grateful to be able to hold the space for you all to grow and to evolve, and it sounds like, not having really known you before we did the course, you particular, Sarah, it seems like you're blossoming, you're blooming, and from a healing space, which, like I said, is no mean feat, so well done you for kind of jumping in full feet first and giving it your best shot, because I think it sounds like it's doing you the world of good.
Oh, it is. Yeah, it's restoring me to a good place I was in before.
Good.
So yeah,
good.
Much more me, much happier.
Good.
Much more heart-centered.
Best way to be.
And it's it's having that beautiful knock-on effect with the cats. Well, not just the cats, but the dogs and people. So yeah.
Saw you out on the grass. Brilliant to see.
Oh, yeah.
Did you see that, Katie?
If it was today, no,
it wasn't today. It was 2
That's
days ago, maybe.
I probably saw it and liked it.
Yeah, my beautiful Matty.
Yeah, lovely to see you outside.
Yeah, I mean, she's particularly close to Jake, my son. So our relationship has been, I would say, probably more of a physical one, but it's definitely really deepening into a heart connection. It's beautiful.
Oh, it's music to my ears. that is exactly what I want, just to help people help people connect. It's that is exactly why this course is what it is. I'm really glad to hear that.
The one thing that's been interesting though is that Tiger, my soul cat, she's also a fire cat. She's had some fire responses to me.
Has she?
At times she's been a bit fidgety on my lap and will suddenly spring off for no reason. So I think she's like, oh, mum feels a bit different here. Mum's energy is different.
That's exactly it. Yeah, so it just shows. I mean, they're so in tune with you and so perceptive. Yeah, and don't be like upset or worried about that. Your relationship with all of them will change as you change, and the fact that like you're aware that she's fire, these outbursts, being a fire element myself, once that's out, that like I said to my husband, the volcano erupts, but then it's out, it's done, so you and her need to find a different relationship. And if our relationships, humans and animals, change all the time anyway.
But our energies just need to sort of settle together again.
You need to recalibrate, basically, to realign, exactly, because you've been very much in a set way for a very long time, and you just need to realign. That's all it is. She's
been my healer, hasn't she, along the way, or she's tried her very best to be, even if at times I haven't honored her enough to let that happen as much as I should. So now she's probably, like you say, recalibrating to a different role.
Very much so.
And maybe it'll switch to where I'm more her support.
It will come. Just lean into trust and faith. Your relationship with her it's not going to get any worse. It just needs to, like you said, to evolve.
Oh no, it hasn't got any worse or any less beautiful or any less deep. It's just
excellent,
settling again.
Brilliant. Lovely. Thank you very much, love. Susie, what do we have? Where are we?
I think we're normal now.
Can you see us?
Yes, all of you.
Oh,
it was a problem with the internet, apparently.
Okay.
So we had to restart the router.
Oh, okay. Excellent. You're here, we're here. That's great.
Sorry. Brilliant. And I got the cats fed at the same time because they both came in for food. 2 of them came in for food. Nice. And that's when they start fighting, when they're hungry.
Yeah, excellent. Good multitasking. So we're just doing our round robin and we've just finished Sarah. So over to Katie. Give you time to catch your breath, Susie. Katie, go on, my love.
Hello. So I've got Eris and Loki at the moment. Sorry, Eris.
Of course you do.
I don't know where the others are. Wandered off again. I feel like I know I've done the homework and everything, and I just feel like this week is just I don't remember a lot of this week in general. I feel like I've just been so busy. Because I'm going away tomorrow straight after work. I'm working an extra day this week because I've got some time off. And then I've been trying to book stuff in. I'm off again at the end of September for another course. So it's just one of those months where I'm just not around much. So I'm trying to get more done in a shorter space of time to sort of pre-plan things and get things set up to be away. And as a result, it's just kind of like my brain can't take it anymore. So yeah, I'm a bit there at the moment.
autopilot in your head, organizing, thinking of what you've got to plan out.
Yeah, and because Jamie's going to move in a couple of months, we had a bit of a chat yesterday about how it's going to work and what I need to do to make space, and asking him like how much sort of bulky stuff he's planning on bringing and stuff, so I know how much space I've got to make. So again, that's a whole other set of lists and organizing in my head, and a lot of nervousness on my part. I haven't lived with anyone for a while, for quite a number of years now, and I really like living by myself, so I'm quite reluctant to give up space. And Jamie has a son that lives with him half of the time.
Oh
wow, it's a big change.
So I've never lived with a child. He's 11, he's nearly 12, but he's quite young for his age, and I've just never lived with that situation before. So, and I like quiet, and to have the house is my sanctuary, so I'm quite nervous as to how this is going to go.
Understandably so, hun.
But if you don't try, then you don't know. So,
and it could be better, you know. You love what you have now, but you know, our minds are set to worry and think about what we'll lose and what we'll forgo and stuff, you know. But it could be better.
It's more just like a lot of change, and it's getting closer now. And it was all like, oh, it will be November, and now it's like, oh, it's September, and I'm away for most of September, so it's actually really soon. So, yeah.
How are you feeling? How do you think the cats will adjust?
They should be all right. So he's got one cat, so it'll be bringing one more cat into the menagerie of cats. So it'll be a 6-cat household. My 4 will be fine with her. It's how she'll react to my 4. So we'll see. My 4 are pretty good at accepting like other cats. I mean, they're so used to me coming home smelling of however many cats I've, when I was cat sitting and now grooming, and you know, whatever animal I meet on the streets, you know, they're used to it. And they've always been okay. Like I had a stray that was staying at night for a while, and then they've been fine with the foster cats and stuff so far.
Are you still going to have the foster when you bring the new one in?
Yeah, so Shiva's in a separate room, so that won't change. And then Pepper will go into the bedroom for a few days to get used to everything, and then we'll see how we go from there.
Okay.
With introducing her, so she'll have her own space for a few days at least. Excellent. And then we'll just play it by ear and see how long she needs by herself. Yeah.
You know, I mean, when we talked before, life gets in the way, right? Stuff happens, things come up, you know, and I think the good thing is that you're aware, right? From your headspace and your heart space, you're aware that there's stuff going on and where you are, where you're at almost, you know. The course with Liz will really help because she does meditations, you know, in amongst the teaching. It's a brilliant, you know, it's not, from my experience anyway, it's very uplifting, it's very soul nourishing as well, and I think for you, you know, you'll particularly get a lot from it, you know. So I appreciate, like you said, you're away from like the day-to-day stuff, you know, and that needs to kind of all be done as well, doesn't it, whilst you're away? Just try and take a day at a time, you know.
Yeah, no, I'm really, really looking forward to the course. I've been enrolled on it since like probably end of last year or beginning of this year. Because it was the one that was nearest was full, and then the next one was starting September. So it's been like I've had this knowing that this was going to start for like months and months. So yeah, I'm really excited to finally be doing it.
It's brilliant.
So yeah, and I'm just glad that I finished a couple of other courses first.
Yes.
I've still got like fresh 3 or 4 on the go, but you know, standard.
Well, just remember, amongst all the chaos, the change, the uncertainty, you could always take just a minute to connect to your breath, and that in itself will ground you and center you, you know. So if you get lost and you get kind of all consumed with everything, just catch your breath and catch yourself. All right.
Yeah, and one thing I have done is I've sort of done some forward planning for the rest of this year and next year, and I've factored in 4 days off every 3 months.
Brilliant. Good
so
for you.
I'll have like the days that I take off as well, so I'll have like a full week off every 3 months.
Good
so that's
girl.
been in the diary.
Good. Self-care like that is really important, and especially when you're self-employed, you don't really think about taking leave.
It's hard, isn't it? It's tricky to put everything down.
Indeed. Well, look, that after the course ends, you've still got the support network of the group and everything. Do you know what I mean? It doesn't end tonight when we finish the class. Thank you very much for sharing, and we wish you all the luck with the course with Liz and all the changes that are coming your way. Susie, how have you been this week?
Yeah, I've been okay, actually. It's been okay. Yep, it's been good. The woofers went home on Friday. We took them across the mountains to Killarney and deposited them at their next place. And so we had a quiet weekend, which we both needed, just to not do a lot. Yeah, it's fine. And I've had a difficult day today with problems that needed dealt with because I'm chair of trustees for Woof, and big immigration problem, which I'm going to have to tackle tomorrow. But yeah, I'm not, although I was absolutely steaming when I came off the phone from the immigration lady that just kept saying, it's employment, and won't have it that we are an educational charity and people come over to learn gardening, not to be employed. But I came off and was able to say, okay, fine, right, what do we do next? Instead of steam coming out of the ears, going out and kicking a can, So
good for you.
So yeah, I'm a lot better. Okay. And I had a talk with Francis and I had a chat this morning, which brought up things that I wasn't really expecting to bring up, but was good. Yeah, and he thinks I'm a lot better, so that's good.
Oh, interesting. That's
yeah,
nice to know.
So yeah, and the cats seem, yeah, they are calmer. I mean, it is if they haven't got their food when they think they should have it, that they start going for each other. Yeah, I mean, this morning they were not bothered because I got up, put their food straight down. Just now they didn't come in. They normally get fed around 6ish when they appear, and nobody was in because of the heat, I suppose. So as I turn on to you, Brody walks in, then the lady Scarlett walks in, and Brody immediately goes into pounce position the second he sees her, which is the first time I've actually seen him do that, but I think it's because he's waiting for his tea.
When food's involved, it's primary resource, it's a resource driver for them, so yeah. It can be the cause of a lot of woes, shall we say.
Absolutely, yeah. Somebody got a good fat wat earlier in the week. I don't know which one of them, probably Brody, he's normally the rat boy, but
nice.
So well, no, we need it to, because it kept
I know you
won't leave my chickens alone.
No, that's fair enough. I mean, I went down the stairs this morning and found a nice slow worm tail, so like you said, it's got to be done, but
slow worms don't do anybody any harm.
It was a little one. Luckily the worm wasn't actually there, so I think that managed to survive. It was just
they do take the tail comes off like lizards.
Yeah.
So hopefully he's all right. Yeah. And
have you managed to do any journal prompts this week? Because I know you didn't have much time to do it the last week.
Yes, I've done those. Yep. And yeah, I mean, I sort of knew I wanted to do it anyway, but I really want to get into Reiki, and I'm enjoying the thought of the chakra course coming up. I want to go down that road, definitely.
Okay.
But I have got to spend the next few months getting my admin jobs under control, which is coming because the lady that I went away with last week she's become a trustee now as well. She's been the complaints manager for years, but she's only been a volunteer. Not only she's done sterling work, she's now a trustee, so she's got more, she can start wielding a bit more power's the wrong word, but oomph.
Yeah.
And she is stepping up to the plate to help big time, so that's really good.
Well, it sounds like you like I said, you and Francis had a talk. You're aware that the cats are affected by your energy, and if you can get some help with the admin side of it, it's all kind of going in the right direction then.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Yeah. Lovely. Thank you very much, everyone. Thank you very much for sharing.
Oh, thank you.
So, yeah, Sarah said that. I'm like, I've done nothing.
You've done nothing. No, right. Okay. Well, if that's your nothing, I don't know that I can cope with your everything.
I'm just the what did you say, Sarah? I'm just the catalyst. You guys do all the work. It's all on you. I'm just the spark. See, I'm the fire. See, I'm literally like the spark that ignites it. Off you go.
Okay. Well, we've all done that, haven't we, ladies?
I'd say so, yeah. Okay, so talking of fire and life force, can you see my screen?
Mm-hmm.
Hang on, there we go. Right, can you see my module 4 screen? Yep, cool. Okay. Okay, here we go. So where's my little time watch? Today we are talking about the body and the physical. So I'm not going to do much of a recap, only because we're short of time and I want to make sure we manage to fit everything in. But we've covered mental, spiritual and emotional so far. Now it's moving on to the body and the physical. So what actually we're doing now is a bit of a gear change. We're actually now talking more about the cats. So the first one was about, mental was about us, spiritual, again, us leading into the heart, which was very much the cat. How do you connect with them? How do you engage with them? What do they need from you? What options have you got for connecting with them? And then today it's kind of going with almost like more from us, and now we're going to the cat. So we're talking about what do they need? How can we support them? How can we connect with them? So I know you've all done a course with Nyana, and I'm hopeful that she'll have covered some of these basics. But if there's anything that I say that is in conflict with anything that she has taught you, please say, because obviously, I've done a course with Nyana, but I haven't done the oils courses and things. So, I'd be interested if there's anything that is in conflict, let me know. So today we're talking about their body, the cat's body. We're talking about how to nourish it. What do they need? So you've all heard, I'm sure, of chi, or spelt QI, but it's said chi, which is the life force that runs through us all. Now, there are different types. I am not going into that tonight. That is like a whole other course. But there's plenty of books if you're interested. So just before I go on, the 3 books that I would recommend, which I know for a fact Katie's got, is this one, which is Head to Tail Wellness by Stacey Ficino. The only thing I would say with this is I would caveat the food options for cats that it talks about. It's not fully carnivore based. It's more kind of omnivore, which personally I don't agree with. So if you're looking at the book and you see information about diet for cats, just take it with a pinch of salt and do your own research, as I would say about everything. The great thing is this has got a lot of information about elements. So for example, I don't know if you can see that, it's got traits of fire pets, and you can see all my underlining, there is loads. And it's actually a he gives great reviews about cats and dogs that are different elements. So this one I would say is the best book to look into the 5 elements even more. It will tell you things that you already know. For example, like Wi-Fi and TV and sound and things can affect your cats and your dogs. He talks about positioning of like cat trees near windows and how things can change in the home and how that can affect energy. And he also talks about the chi through the home and how it moves. So it's a very, very interesting book. It's not necessarily one to read, like I read in the bath before bed. I usually read like chick lit because it's just easy to read and it doesn't really need to be absorbed. It's a very educational book. So I would say, if you're going to read it, take the time to read it, because actually the information is invaluable. So that I would say is a really, really good one. And then AcuCat, which is about acupressure for cats. And again, this is a brilliant This is a brilliant book because it's got your meridians, it's got all your images with your diagrams and stuff. And the reason I'm sharing that one is because, Leo, I can't have an goodness sake, acupuncturist here because he won't tolerate other people. So I'm looking into, learning acupressure myself to help him. So that's a great book in terms of like a complementary treatment, in terms of how you can learn and support your cat itself. And then this one, which I haven't read yet, I'll be honest, but when I flick through, looks awesome. 4 Paws, 5 Directions, which Nyana mentioned and recommended to me. And again, you've got pictures of the meridians. I think it's got acupressure points. Yeah. I don't know if it's got hang on. Can you believe it? I've just flicked to the page that says about an incident of lipidosis or hepatic lipidosis, which is exactly what I was dealing with Leo. I'm just going to fold that over and read that later. How bizarre is that? Sorry, ladies. So those are some books that I would recommend. I will share with you your 5 elements that you did for the cats and in a little bit. But what I really wanted to draw on is the fact that, whether you believe in, I know Katie doesn't like this, but the woo-woo or not, right? Whether you believe in the spiritual stuff, the soul connections, when I talk about, us having a soul and cats having a soul, whether you believe in that stuff, it's irrelevant. Chi is given, that is like, you can scientifically prove it. And there is, the whole Eastern medicine way of working is based on this, So when it comes to our cats, this I think is an element that, again, we're not really exploring very often. And I feel like I say that about quite a lot when I'm doing my lives and things, but for cats particularly, they are so sensitive. We know that they are sponges. We know that they are mirrors. We know that they soak up our energy. Oh, people are chatting. Hang on. I'm distracted. See, I'm distracted now. Oh, tall grass. Interesting. Nice. Good for you. That'd be very, very interesting. Let me get rid of that. Let me stop saying that, otherwise I'm going to just get completely distracted. Okay. Good for you, Katie. We know that they are our mirrors and our sponges, and we now need to look at not just the diet and nutrition, the behavior, the environment. Let's start looking at their energy. This is where we bring in the spiritual element that comes through the emotional now to the physical. So I'll talk to you about your cat results in a minute. There's just a point I wanted to bring up here, which people may agree or disagree. And again, my belief isn't right or wrong, but I believe that the cats that we have, we've talked about before, come to us for a particular reason, whether they turn up at the back garden or whether we pick them up from the rescue. We sign those soul contracts when we are spirit, to connect with them and to work with them and to learn from them. Remember I mentioned about the Tammy Billup soul contracts book. Now, I believe that the behavior that our cats exhibit, they do it to help us grow, to trigger us, to activate us, to frustrate us, to make us sad, to make us whatever it may be. So this can sometimes be a bit hard to get your head around. And, for example, if I think about what's recently happened with Leo, there've been moments when I've been absolutely petrified. I had to give in and I had to surrender at one point. And I actually felt the most bizarre sense of peace through surrender of what was going on. And I had to trust that things would be what they needed to be. Hopeful, obviously, he would come home and things would be fine. But if they didn't and they weren't, I would still have to deal with it. I've learned a tremendous amount of courage and strength and faith through all of this procedure with him. I have no idea what happened. I've no idea why it happened. All of his bloods, all of his tests have all come back negative for everything. I've no idea. All I know is that I had to give over my boy, who I'm still learning to love and connect with. We're 2.5 years in and we've got a very, very delicate relationship, which is completely completely different, to what I've had with Pickle. And I choose to believe that what him and I are experiencing is to help my soul grow and to help his soul grow. And yes, let's be clear, growing is really bloody hard. When you're younger and you go into secondary school, and even when you're a grown up and like Sarah was saying about her husband retiring, or Katie having a chat move in, and Susie with the change of the admin stuff. Growing's really hard. Change is really hard. But I do believe that the cats that we have chosen to be within this life, we are with them for a reason. I also believe it's our duty to care for them as best that we can and to respect that they are unique, just like we are unique. We might have similarities. You know, I've got a client of mine, we've got some really bizarre similarities, like parents being a twin and like really weird stuff, right? But, you know, we are unique in our own experiences in life and the way that we view things. And I think cats are exactly the same. So the reason that I wanted to mention that is because when we're talking today about the body and about the physical realm and the physical paw, if you like, when we talk about the 4 paws to perfection, you know, I believe that behavior is a result of emotions. Now, if you think about that, that's not just bad, that's good as well. So when you've got a cat purring, 90% of the time, I know they can purr when they're in pain or when they're sad, but 90% of the time it's because they're happy. You know, if you've got a cat that's, you know, coming for cuddles, it's because they want to feel connection, they want to feel joy. Equally, if you've got a cat that's reactive and is hissing and is, you know, trying to claw you, there's an emotion behind that, right? Like with humans, we behave in a certain way depending on how we're feeling. We're either really shitty with our partners because we're having a really bad day, you know, or we're like, come on, let's go out and have some fun and go for a walk outside or get an ice cream or whatever it may be. So although we're talking about the body today, and I'm going to talk to you about the 5 element theory and how that can affect the cats, you know, just know that the physical and the body is still connected with the emotional, the mental, and the spiritual. It is all connected. Come on, slides. There we go. So let's think about the body. You know, let's think about your cat, or cats, plural. In fact, yeah, you've all got multiples. I'm the only one that's got a single one. God, I can't imagine having another one, Leo, just no chance. So cats, same. You know, let's have a look at diet and nutrition. So again, my perspective isn't for everyone, but what I'm hopeful that I can do is either educate you or help to inspire curiosity so that you can go and have a look for things yourself. So cats are carnivores, you know, they're not herbivores, they're not omnivores, they're carnivores, and they're obligate carnivores. So they get the nutrients that they need from animal resources, from prey. Now, yes, there is an element that, or there is a school of thought that think that cats can tolerate carbohydrates because they would eat prey, and in the prey's tummy, for example, you've got the rat, let's use Susie's example, you know, they've eaten grains and bird seed and stuff. But let's also be clear that that is usually partly digested because it's in their tummy. So you don't have, you know, I don't know, like bits of corn, or I'm trying to think what's in my bird food, you know, Niger seeds or whatever. You don't have that like in the mouse, in the rat. That's digested with stomach acid in their tummy. So I don't agree that cats can tolerate carbohydrates. In terms of carbohydrates, I think if you think about a cat eating a mouse, which I saw on my last retreat when I went away last, I think it was October actually, it was profound. I heard this yowling, and then I looked over the balcony, saw this cat flicking around a dead mouse, which, yeah, from a human perspective is gross. Went to walk away, had the most almighty crack, and went back and saw her eat this mouse. Now, it was gross. She bit the head off, you know, and then within 2 or 3 mouthfuls, it was gone. But I was mesmerized, right? Because I was like, if ever there's a moment where I doubted my belief about cats and carbs and cats and dry food, it's this moment right here where this cat is gorgeous and cuddly, because she would come into my apartment and say hello every morning. You know, she wasn't feral, she was domesticated, but she, you know, she was a hunter. So I knew in that moment that, you know, I stand firm in my belief, and that was why. So the thing is to note, man-made dry food from convenience, you know, and then it was marketed to be its prescription, or it helps to clean their teeth. You know, if you think about when you eat a cream cracker versus when you eat a steak, which sticks to your teeth more, you know, you're picking the cream cracker or the crisps out of your teeth. And also, you know, just to quote something I saw on Instagram the other day from Dr. Nick Thompson, who I do respect, although he's more dog than cat. You know, it's called prescription diet, but do you actually need a prescription to feed it to your cat? No, because if you did, you could go and get a prescription from your vet and buy it somewhere cheaper, but you don't. They just sell it at the vets. So it's not technically a prescription diet, because if for it to be a particular prescription diet, you've got to have a prescription to have it. Now, look, I could talk about diet and nutrition for a long time, and I know you may or may not agree, and that's absolutely fine. What I would say is each cat is different. You know, they got Leo to eat by giving him a soft-boiled egg yolk, and the second thing yet was dry food, at which I almost cried. But he needed to eat, right? He ate. Now that is the bottom line. That is what's most important. So, you know, as much as I say I'm against dry food, cats can't tolerate it, you need to pick and choose your battles, you know. And I always try and advise my clients that if they want to feed dry food, always supplement with wet, get wet in where you can for the moisture, you know. And if you're happy, let's try a bit of raw, or let's try majority wet, you know. The takeaway that I would ask you to have when it comes to diet and nutrition is read the label. That's the one bit of homework I give you. Read the label. See what's in your cat food. If there's something you can't pronounce, have a think whether you want to be giving that to your cat. That's what I'm going to leave it on. So diet and nutrition, really important. If you've got cats that are on dry food and you've got behavior problems, that's something to look at and to think about, because they're basically being fed Haribo. So no wonder you've got a really aggressive or an overactive cat, you know. And also, if you've got a cat that's got really stinky poos, it's because you put crap in, you get crap out. You know, I'll never forget when Leo came to us, he was on Felix, wet food and dry food. And he did a poo one day, and my husband went to scoop the litter tray and he was gagging. Oh my God, I'm absolutely wetting myself laughing in the kitchen, which is not the right response, apparently. My husband's like, oh my God, it smells so gross. It still makes me chuckle when I think about it. He wasn't pleased. Now that Leo's raw fed, I don't even know he's pooed. I mean, he's out a lot of the time, but when he's in and he uses the tray, I don't even notice. There's not even a whiff of anything. You know, his poos are small, they're dry. So yeah, there are, you know, pros and cons for all three types of food. But you've got to do what's right for you, you know, what's right for you in terms of your morals and belief, but also think about what's best for the cat. So that's about diet and nutrition. So that's what's going in. Now I want to just talk a bit about play, brushing, and environment enrichment. So you can never have enough resources for your cats. It's like pieces of cake. You can never have enough cake, you know, as humans. You can always have one more cat bed, one more scratching post, one more pot of cat grass, a herb garden, whatever it may be, a litter tray. Now, yes, you are confined to the limits of the space that you've got in your home, absolutely. But when it comes to cats, we need to see things from their perspective, you know. What do they need? Where do they like to sit? Where do they like to poop and to wee? Just because it's convenient for you to have the litter tray underneath the stairs, because that's where you've got a little cubby hole, it's nice, it's out of the way, you know, it's not in the way of the home and stuff, great. They may not like it in there. If they can't walk around all four sides of the litter tray, they might not like it. So what does your cat like? What does your cat need? If you've got a cat bed like on the sofa, if they're not a very confident cat, they might prefer a cat bed on top of a kitchen cabinet, maybe. I don't know. But have a think about when we finish this module, maybe not, you know, straight away tonight, but as let me write that down. One of your homework points, I want you to look at your resources for your cat and see if there's anything you can have. Just one thing. What one more thing could you have? Now, if we think about the body, and I know Katie will understand all of this, you know, the body in terms of nutrition, you know, how it's going to help the body mechanisms to work, you know, that move the blood and the joints and digestion, all of that. And then we've got the biggest organ, which is the skin, you know, and we've got the fur and the coat. Now, some cats will be able to clean themselves. Obviously, as they get older, it's a bit more difficult, a bit more awkward. But despite the fact, from a kind of a cleanliness perspective, brushing and kind of grooming your cat can be a really great bonding experience. And actually, you can make it play as well. So it's another way to engage with them, which supports your mental health and their mental health. So there's one activity you've got can deepen your emotional connection with them. They can also learn to trust you more. And it helps with your mental health, their mental health, and their physical health as well. Now, again, not all cats tolerate it. You might need to do some behavior modification to get them used to it. Leo, I got no chance. You know, we've tried it a couple of times. He looks at me as if to say, "Don't you dare come near me with that brush, woman." Go with the brush, you know, and he backs off. And I go forward and he backs off. Yeah. Luckily, at the moment, Leo doesn't need it. It is something that when he's finally settled, my plan is to work on it. It was to work on it this year. Year's not over yet. So you'll see one of the journal prompts and the end of the homework activities for this module is, what are you going to take forward to do for your cat? That's mine. I don't normally share my responses to these things, but that's mine. You know, I really want to work on brushing with him because I think it will help to boost his trust, to enable him to tolerate touch a bit more, because he is nervous, you know, and I think the more he can trust me and then hopefully Rob, the better it will be with things. You know, I'm not saying it's going to make him be happy to go to the vets, don't get me wrong, but I do think it's something that, even though he's short-haired, we need to be able to do that with him for maintenance, you know, as he gets older, that kind of thing. Oh, can you send me a link for one you'd recommend, my love? I'd appreciate that. Thank you. So that's one of the things that I'm going to do with Leo. And I encourage you to have a think about, what thing could you do? Okay. So I haven't put it on here actually, but I wanted to talk to you now about your 5 elements and what your cats were. So let me take you off mute. Let's have a bit of an interactive bit for this. Okay. So I'm going to start with Susie. Can you hear me okay?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. With Milady Scarlet. I love the way you call it that. And she actually wrote that in the name of the cat, Milady Scarlet. I was like, that's brilliant.
Cute.
Well, she's very much, yes, 18th century.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
I thought it was
See
great.
with the 4 Musketeers.
She was I don't know I don't know how you'd look at this actually. So there's 2 ways. So one, she's not got a dominant element, or she's very balanced. So there's 12, the score of 12 for the whole thing. And she had 4 for water. And then she had 2 3s, 1 for metal, 1 for earth. And she had 2 1s, which is 1 for wood and 1 for fire.
Interesting.
So it would be, I would be interested to see, in fact, did we do it before when we started working?
Yes.
We did.
She's so much more confident now than she was then.
Sorry, ladies, bear with me. Oh, that's so interesting. When you did it, January, she was water as her primary, and then metal and earth as her secondary. So tied again. Isn't that interesting?
Yes, isn't that interesting?
She was 72210 last time.
Well, water does fit more with her. I got sidetracked by the voice. And I think, well, actually, yeah, wood goes with the voice, but in fact, her body, although she is light and, she's not wood body, her body has the firmness of wood. Although she's small, she's very taut. But she's getting less so as she relaxes, so that's not right. But no, water, yeah, she does act like Frances does, actually. She'll walk in, and if she can see anything she doesn't like, she does a complete deviation off to where she knows she's safe.
Yeah.
Which is exactly what he does.
I was gonna say, so when I looked at that and I read, so I've made notes about each element, which I'm happy to share if you ladies are interested. I'll send it over separately. Because it's just about cats, whereas everything I've read is about like both types of animals. But most cats have some form of water because they are naturally cautious, as a majority, I would say. When it's their primary, like you said, there's this element of kind of not being involved with anything if they don't want to be, and it's always, it's on their terms when they want to get involved or have attention and things. But there's also like a curiosity to them, when they are comfortable and when they are settled. And it doesn't surprise me you've said about, her relationship with you, particularly with the earth element, about getting you to sit down, needing that connection with you. When you pick her up, she'll tolerate it with you, and you and her are very, very connected from previous conversations that we've had. I won't divulge. So I thought that was very interesting. And the fact that she's not changed in however many months we've been working together. And actually she looks slightly more balanced now. If you look just at the numbers of the results, she was more balanced now, which you'd expect because she's been with you for a good 8 months, isn't she?
And she's on a better diet as well. They're nearly raw now, and she's getting to finding her feet. I
mean, the fact is, with a multi-cat home, there's always going to be an element of kind of, not uncertainty, that's not the right word, but of things potentially being unsettled. What one feels a bit off kilter, and that is going to ripple through the others in the home. But I think it's really testament to the work that you've done with her in terms of your relationship and how much she's grown and how much she is more comfortable with the situation. I did also think, with water, and I'm sure Nana talked about this, the whole kind of out of balance, being stagnant water or frozen water, and over and underactive, and again, I did think about Scarlett, you've got to be, which I know that you are, cautious of when she starts to withdraw and when she starts to, either be dominant with her space, which I know she's done with Brody before, or she'll start to kind of retreat a bit. So I thought that was very interesting for her. And like I said, if you're interested, I can send the extra info over.
Yes, I would be. Thank you.
Okay. Katie with Izzy. Is this the one that you said before that you mentioned last time when we had the meditation that came and sat with you, that you've got a bit of a kind of not distant but almost sort of slightly disconnected relationship with?
Yeah, she's the one that I understand the least well.
That's right.
She's very in love with Loki. So when I've put down that she wants play and companionship, it's with Loki. She likes Eris, and she can take or leave Tristan because he's a bit of a bully to her sometimes. And she's friendly with me, but it'll be when she wants to be very much more. So she comes to me less than the others do. So I always notice when she comes and sits on me, I'm like, oh, it's Izzy. But she has certain times of the day when she'll come and sit with me. But yeah, she's the one that I not feel like that. It's not that I'm not close to her, but my relationships with the other three are so strong that I notice that the one with her isn't as strong. So it just stands out as being a bit different. Yeah.
And have you done her 5 element before?
No, I've tried thinking about it before, and I can never settle on. The other 3 are like really easy to me, and I'm like that. Tristan's fire, Eris is earth. Loki's probably water, but Is he? I don't know. She just might be. She's probably the most stable of the four of them as well, to be honest. So she's probably the most balanced, which is why I find it difficult to place where she is, because she doesn't. The others are quite quirky, and she's a lot less quirky than them. So she's just more of a well-rounded animal in general, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So I don't notice that something's like massively out of balance. But maybe you'll tell me completely different from their questionnaire.
And that's all it is, right? You know, this is as Niana says, and I love the analogy, it's a prism. You know, it's a prism to look at your cat through, right? This doesn't tell you right or wrong. It doesn't tell you, you know, how to treat them or not treat them. It's food for thought, right? It's something to incorporate when we talk about the 4 paws, you know, the physical, blah, blah, blah. You know, it's just another kind of element to consider with regards to your cat. So her scores were very interesting, and I find it phenomenal that you use the word balanced, because her scores were she had a 4, a 3, 2 2s and a 1.
Okay.
So she had a 4 for fire. So her primary element came out as fire, which surprised me from what you've shared about her, I'll be honest.
Yeah.
She had a 3 for metal. She had a 2 for earth and water, and a 1 for wood.
Okay.
So I got from the question that she was primary for fire and then closely followed by metal. Which, when you said about she likes to be connected with
Loki.
Who did you say?
Loki. She loves
Loki.
them.
So, you know, with fire cats, there is this love, almost this like puppy dog love, where they follow someone around, or it could be another cat, or it could be a human, but there is this kind of like awe in a fire cat where
100%.
where they need to be with that other being, that other energy, that other human or animal. Sometimes it might be a dog, who knows, right? And for them it's because there's a soul connection. They can feel the energy from this other being, and they need to be with it because it actually like fills them up. It when we think about her sparkle jar, right, that's her safe space, that's her happy place.
Yeah, Loki's very much her happy place when he left her.
I mean, obviously with fire, as I mentioned with myself, you know, there can be this kind of like volcanic eruption, or, you know, as I said to my husband the other day, you know, when like volcanoes have got like air shoot that comes off and it just releases pressure, and it's a bit of a and then it goes again. You know, with fire cats, again, you can have that you could be stroking, and 1 minute everything's fine, and the next minute you get a hiss, a bop, a scratch, and you know, and you're like, what the hell, you know, where did that come from? Now, behaviorally speaking, you know, we talk about the kind of excitement threshold, and you've got to look for that because it will build to it. But sometimes people have said to me, and I've seen it myself, there is no warning signs, and they're generally fire cats, because you just reach that point and they're like, no, thank you, and they stop it, you know. But as soon as it's done, they'll settle back in, they'll either leave or they'll change position, or, do you know what I mean? It's not like they're holding a grudge and they're kind of constantly then angry or aggressive or anything like that. It doesn't necessarily evolve that way.
Yeah.
And with her secondary being metal, so from my experience, that's cats that are metal like routine. They like things a certain way. They like, you know, they have patterns of behavior. So like, I don't know whether you guys have got like in the morning, you'll have a certain routine that you've got to do, whether it's with her or the others.
Yeah.
Do you?
Yeah, I have a very set routine with the cats.
Yeah. And how is she if you deviate from that?
She's probably the most adaptable, bizarrely.
Interesting.
As long as she gets her food, she's usually okay.
That's right.
She's like, give me the food now. But she's the only one that doesn't kind of pester me in the morning. Mm-hmm. So it's more, Eris is my alarm clock, I call her. Mm-hmm. And if I'm late, then I will be told. But
it's almost like Izzy knows that you will get to her when you've done your thing, so she observes the routine.
So in the morning, that's when she'll lie on top of me and next to me the most.
Yeah.
When I wake up in the morning, that's when she's closest to me.
Yep.
So that's her little routine with me.
So the interesting thing from my perspective with a fire and a metal cat is that there's unlikely to be warning signals. in terms of, you know, anything being wrong. So fire, there is the kind of, like I said, if you think about the eruption, the kind of outburst, and with metal it snaps, you know, so it can bend and be flexible, like you said, it'd be adaptable, but when it breaks, when it snaps, you know, you know about it.
Well, I've not seen her snap.
I was gonna say, maybe you've not experienced that with her, which is
So
great.
that's good.
Yeah, yeah, very much so, very much so. So yeah, I hope you find that interesting. Are, you know, like I said, I've coupled together some notes, probably in preparation for a course, but it's never really manifested to that as yet. So I've kind of made notes about the qualities of each cat, and then what to look for if they're kind of in balance or out of balance. So if your ladies are keen, I will put it into some readable format and share it with you so that you can get a précis. And as I'm sure, as I hope, you know, Nyana says, this isn't an exact science. So the one label of water, not everything will resonate. You know, we've all got all elements within us. You know, I like to have the toilet roll stacked a certain way, and if they're not, I get really just testy about it, you know. So everyone's got their own little thing. But we do have all elements within us. But yeah, so that's little Izzy. And then we've got Myrtle. Am I saying that right?
Yeah.
So it's really funny. I did a call with a client this morning. We talked about her elements with their cats. Hers were very clear. Your three are not very clear. So we've got, for little miss, her primary element is a mixture. Again, she was fire and earth. So she had 4 for fire and 4 for earth. 4, 8, 9, 10, 11. Oh, hang on, I've missed one. 4, 8, 9, 10, 11. That's not right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I take that back. Right, there we go. So earth 5. She had, sorry, Sarah. She had 5 for earth, 4 for fire, 3 for water, and 0 actually for wood and metal, which I thought again was quite interesting. So if ever I see a cat that's got a 0, I always think, you know, we need something to balance them out actually. So earth cats, again, in my experience, they are cats that like to be in the middle of everything. If you think about Mother Nature, you know, think about Mother Earth, they are the nurturer, they're the mum of the household. They check on everybody, they make sure everyone's okay. You know, particularly if somebody is experiencing something emotional, whether that's anger or sadness, they will be there. Now, depending on the confidence of the cat, can depend on whether they're there and they're on you and they're with you, or whether they're kind of, you know, close nearby. But for example, like for earth cats, you know, if you had a fall, you know, an earth cat would come and sit near you, and they'd be sitting near you until you got help, you know. They like to be amongst everything, so they can actually, in terms of behavior, there can be behavior problems like weeing around the house if they're not included, if they're not getting the attention that they need, that they crave, and that interaction with people. So earth cats are generally ones that will more than likely be lap cats, but again, cats in general, you know, they're not all cats are cuddly, so it's not a written rule. How does that resonate with Myrtle? What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I've always had her down as primarily being an earth cat, mainly because she's not so bad now, but she had a really bad relationship with food. She was a real overeater. Yeah. But you see her with my son, and she's with him, she's so much a lap cat, and she's very aware of his moods, and she does the sweetest thing. She'll lie and she'll actually have her paws over his heart. It's just so beautiful.
Oh my god.
Yeah, she's very caring. So yeah, she's in that way, she's very earth. I think she would be around us a lot more, but she's a lot more confident than she was, but she's still just a little wary of mini dog's bigness. But when she can be with Jake in his room, where she feels completely safe and confident, and she's on his lap, loving him so much. So yeah, very earthy.
Yeah, and that's the thing, right? So their confidence, their previous experience and exposure to humans, all of this will affect how their element comes through, how it manifests, how they can show it. You know, I had a cat, my client this morning, you know, she's an earth cat, but actually she's secondary metal, and for the first 4 years of her life she had to protect herself and her brother. I won't go into details, but you know, she's like literally got this suit of armor on, and now she's in her forever home. She's been there for 18 months. Her earth is starting to come through. So when we did the assessment, when we first started working together, she was very much metal than earth. Now it's switched, and you can see it. You can see how she is connecting with the members of the home. They've just had a new kitchen put in. You know, within 48 hours, she was yowling at the door because she needed to go and investigate. She went in, had a look around, sniffed each of the leg of the 3 workmen, left, wasn't bothered, didn't need to go in again, you know, because she just needs to know what's going on. So it can depend on their experience, you know, with other humans and their previous life experiences as to how the elements will manifest. But it's great to hear that
different with X-strays, isn't it? Because they carry emotional baggage that is going to affect
very much
their true behavior. And as you peel away the layers, then you get to see their core element, and it's beautiful.
Yeah, very much so. Yeah. So I hope this has been interesting, and I hope it's kind of, again, it's almost to give you another insight, you know, to help you kind of connect with your cat, and to say that there are opportunities to see them in a different way. You know, when you see your cat, for example, like I need to do Leo's again, I've realized today's definitely been a 5 element type day, and I need to do Leo's again because I've got him down as metal, and I'd be really interested to see if that's still the same, because, you know, like I mentioned in the live today, I don't know if you guys have managed to catch it on replay. I know Sarah, you were there with me, which always makes me smile. Thank you, my love. I don't know what our relationship is yet. I'm still trying to figure that out, you know, and again, that's how it's meant to be, you know, that's the journey we're meant to be on. So have a think about what we've shared in terms of your element for your cat today, and whether that can give you a bit of food for thought in terms of either how you approach them, how you view them. Because if we kind of backtrack a bit to module 1, and we talk about, you know, the stories that we have that come from a thought or come from a, you know, belief that play out in behavior. I've got a belief about Leo that, you know, he needs protecting, and he's timid, and he's shy, and he's scared, and he's like, you know, a little baby thing, that like a little tiny baby bird that I need to keep close to me and can't let anyone get near. But actually, when we had the soul ceremony, the shamanic healing with Dr. Isla, what she shared was that he has this roar. She did this clearing from his throat, and he had this voice, this massive big voice. And I was like, that is not how I see him. But my perception, my labels, you know, my understanding of Leo is affecting how I interact with him, because it's like, oh, hello, bird, you know. And I just want you guys to have a think about what we've talked in terms of your cat today, and how that may or may not affect how you're interacting with them. Is there space for you to grow there a little? So let's, the questions that I've put at the bottom, it's just to really bring in what we've talked about with the 5 elements. So, and I mentioned this a lot about, can you tolerate touch? So going back to the body and the physical, we may want comfort, we may want to touch them and stroke them, but does that feel right for them? And when we talk about what your soul and spirit needs, that's kind of linking back in with taking the time to connect with them. So if you're sitting with them and you go to stroke them, but they back off a little, just catch your breath and you know, go into your heart space, drop into your heart, whether you've got to do it via a calm connection or otherwise, and just see if you can get any feedback from them about what they need or how they want to interact with you. Okay, journals at the ready, journaling exercise.
My stupid screen's gone funny again, ladies, sorry.
No. Well, it wouldn't be class without it.
I'm just going to shut the curtain as well. Do you need me to send you screenshots again, Sarah?
I haven't got my phone in the room, I've just realised.
Do you want to try and come out and come back in again?
Yeah, should we try that? Because it was all right for ages. It's only literally in the last minute.
Right, I'm just going to shut my curtain 1 second.
Go on. Right, Katie's going to shut the curtain. Sarah's going to go out and come back in. Susie, I want you to get
Do you know what? I don't know that I can, because I don't think I can use my cursor properly. This is so annoying.
That's all right, don't worry. Get your journal, I'll read it out and you can write it down. There's only 3.
You can always get your phone as well, Sarah, and send you pictures again.
So is this the new moon causing all these gremlins then?
Possibly. So the reason I've put here about new moon, and again, I don't want to go off topic, but I do 2 things with regards to my moon relationship. On a new moon, I set intentions, and on a full moon, I write down things to look to release and let go of. Whether I write it on a bit of paper and scrunch it up and put it in the bin, or sometimes you'll see I'll put something on social media. I'll use a fire pit, because full moon is all about letting it go, and it's about what no longer serves you. You know, the time between the full moon and the new moon, which it's called the dark something. I can't think what it's called. But basically, it's all about going inward and being reflective. Very feminine energy. The time from a new moon, which is today, the 2 weeks from a new moon to a full moon, is very masculine energy. It's very get up and do things. It's get to work. Whereas the other 2 weeks are about retreating and resting. So the reason that I can't believe tonight is actually falling on a new moon. It's like divine timing. It's like I planned it that way. If only I was that inspired to do so. So what I want you to have a think about is, because it's a new moon today, let's set intentions. It's the end of the course. Let's wrap up. Let's set action steps for you to go forward. So the first one is, how do you intend to use your learning from this course to help and support your cat? Do you want me to read that again for you, Sarah?
I've got that one, thank you.
Okay. Then we've got, what area of you, or that should be you, not you or your cat's wellness, could you improve or support more? And then we've got, how do you intend to connect with your cat? Okay, so I'm going to give you guys a few minutes to work through those. We're almost finished. Okay, I'm just going to pop you all on mute. I'm just going to pop and send a penny. You can work through those and I will be back. Sorry that took longer than expected. We lost Leo. We found him, don't worry. Oh. Susie, you look like you're done. Are you done? Okay, I'll give her a couple more minutes. Okay. Right, Katie, I'm just going to let you wrap up. I'm just going to start chatting with Susie just to keep it moving. So, Susie, tell us how that was for you.
Yeah, fine. I mean, the connection, I think I've probably got fairly well anyway. So using the course to help and support them, stay calm and carry on, keep myself balanced.
Yeah.
And carry on. And then my energy will be better for them. Really. What area would I improve to support more? Keep working with them to find their own secure ways of living together. That's the main aim. And Francis as well, because he doesn't like having her in the house. So we're working on that one. And get them onto 100% raw food, because they're about 60 at the moment.
Fab.
We're getting there, and yeah. How do you intend to connect? Well, I really want to learn the Reiki. I really feel that's the way I want to go, but I've got to get rid of the rubbish out of my life first. And in the meantime, just always respond to their approaches, which I do always try to do anyway, but you know, make sure that if they do want something from me, that I'm always there to give it.
Lovely. Brilliant. Lovely. Thank you very much. Okay, Katie.
Hello. So learning about things to my brain's just died. Learning to help and support my cats. Yeah. So to keep reminding myself about it's about their needs and what my needs are from them. So I'm pretty good with most of them, and it's just reminding myself that that's the important bit, is that I'm here to kind of serve them rather than put on them what I think I might need rather than what they need. Does that make sense, right?
Yeah.
Sorry, brain gone a bit. And to definitely, the more and more I sort of look inward, the more I see that I just don't make time for me to do the things that I enjoy outside of cats and work. And that's really an area that's really, really missing from my life at the moment. So I really do want to start putting some time aside to do the things that I want to do outside of all the study and whatnot.
Yeah. And that's important for your energy as well. You know, the learning's great, but the joy and the sparkle jar and that is going to really make a difference to your energy. Sorry to interrupt you there.
There's just so many other things I like to do, as well as I love what I do and I love studying cats, but there's so many other things that have been completely neglected for like the last 2 years that I want to start getting, make some time for.
Yeah.
So what area of me and my cat's wellness? So as I said, take more time out for myself. I want to spend more time with Izzy and Shiva, getting to know them as individuals. I always am looking to research for toys and things for Tristan. He's so playful, but he's so specific with how he'll play.
Right.
He doesn't do a lot of self-directed play, so
Right.
I'm always looking for things that are sort of automated and things like that, where he can sort of play with them. And just reading that book, How to Heal Your Pets, just thinking about bringing the outside inside a bit more, so thinking about getting like some grass, like actual turf grass that they can kind of, like a strip of it, so they can like lie on it and stuff like that. So keep thinking about that. And then focus, and then the third one, how to connect. So keep spending time with them individually as well as a group. Don't forget that Eris and Loki, even though they're older now, they really love playtime as well. So don't neglect playtime with them, because I was playing with Tristan earlier with some ribbon, and Eris was asleep, but she got up and came over and wanted to play as well. So don't forget that they both love it. And more things for Izzy to hunt, because that's what she likes to do. She likes to hunt things. So how can I invest in her and give her more of a hunting experience? So she has a couple of toys that she'll bring up in the night and leave on the end of the bed for me, and then in the morning I bring them down again, and then she'll bring them up again for me.
Nice.
Yeah, so more things like that for her.
Do you hide any bits of food for them? For her?
Not usually, because food goes very quickly in this house, because I'm quite strict with how much I feed them. So I don't hide food for them. So I tend to hide toys more than food, because if Izzy knows there's food somewhere, she'll have it all. And with 4, if it was just one of them, it would be fine.
Fair enough.
So with Shiva, I move his food around, but it's trickier with the 4, and they're all raw fed now. They have a bit of kibble on the side, but they're primarily raw fed, and they only get kibble once a day.
Yeah.
And I get them like a good quality one, but they're raw fed essentially.
Yeah. Lovely. It sounds like you've really kind of understood what more you can do, you know, and I love to hear that in the mix, in the answer to those questions, you've got stuff for you and stuff for them, you know. Very much like Susie as well. It's, you know, the awareness is great, and you know, understanding that each cat has different needs and how you can help them, that's brilliant. Well done.
Yeah, they're all very different.
Indeed. Okay, birthday girl. You're lucky I didn't get everyone to sing, because I was gonna.
I should have worn my party hat on my birthday badge, shouldn't I? Right. First one was, how do I tend to use my learning? Well, I've learned such a lot. I've put stay true to my soul's purpose and connect from the heart.
Beautiful.
Remember that it's a two-way learning stroke support contract, and let them in so long as they have the choice to leave my energy. So where I've been, you know, I said I've been putting up that protection, thinking I'm protecting them from my energy. Maybe that's not the correct way to honor them. Just work on my own emotion to benefit them, really.
Lovely.
What area of your cat's wellness, you and your cat's wellness, could you improve?
You and your
big capitals, diet for me and the cats. I have tried to get them onto raw food, and it just hasn't worked with, particularly with Noodle. I've tried doing it really slowly. I've tried all the tips and techniques that I've read on, you know, various raw feeding advice things on Facebook, but she'll just starve herself. It's really difficult, and obviously, you know, you're not supposed to leave cats to go too long without food, so that I'm finding really difficult. But yeah, perhaps I'll give it another go now I've been through this course and see where we are now. But I do make sure they have good quality food, and she's a real kibble girl, but her kibble's grain free and high protein. So, but we'll have another go with the raw feeding. I think dogs are raw fed.
My tip, if I could just say, is if she's a kibble fiend, you're unlikely to get her onto raw. You're better off going dry to wet, wet to raw. That is generally the way forward, I would suggest. It's a big change, not to go too much off on a tangent, but in terms of like gut biome, texture, smell, level of ingredients, processed, there's a very, very big change. So I would go easy on yourself and try and get her, from dry to wet, and either at least wet and dry, or wet completely before you go to raw.
I've even had trouble with that, getting her onto the wet. I tried getting her onto the 60% protein and then upping it to the 90% protein. She wasn't having it, and now she won't even eat low quality wet food like Felix or whatever. She's just strictly a kibble girl. So but maybe it's time to start again, have a look at it again with some renewed energy and confidence. So keep up the spiritual nourishment and continue to develop my intuition.
Lovely.
How do you intend to connect to your cats? By showing up for them on all 4 levels.
Nice. All 4 paws, people.
4 paws. 2 paws and a foot.
Brilliant. Is that everything, my love?
It's the heat. It scares me now.
Oh God, the heat.
I get slightly hysterical.
Yeah,
it's the
quite.
high energy in the heat.
Brilliant. That's lovely. Thank you very much, ladies. It's been great to hear about how your sort of thinking has changed and what your plan is going forward. So I just wanted to just have a quick chat with you before I wrap us up about ways to connect. So I've put it here in the blue box. Cats don't judge and bring expectations to our connection. They come from a place of love, acceptance and gratitude. Now, you might say that the exception to that rule is when they want food. They don't bring expectations. They want food. They expect to be fed. But let's take it away from the mental, from the thoughts about how cats are. Let's take it back to the spiritual, back to the heart. Back to those 2 middle levels, those 2 middle modules. If we think about cats being sentient and having a soul, and very much like Sarah said, they are able to deal with our emotions. They signed up to be with us. We can both learn and grow from each other. Cats don't do things to tick us off. They don't do things to be malicious and malicious. Is that the right word? If that's the right word. Yeah. To be mean and they don't work that way. There's a reason for that behavior. Cats, we can have as deep or as shallow a relationship with our cats as we choose. It is all about how we decide to show up to them, what we can offer, how open our heart, mind and intuition can be with them. So, as long as you're trying your best, which I know all of you are, that's enough, but just bear in mind that, our cats will be there for us in whichever way we choose to show up with them. So we talk about this module about the physical, about the body, the physical body. One thing I didn't mention before, a couple of slides ago, about, I think it was 5 element stuff. Yeah, here, I didn't mention lumps and bumps and energy blockages. I don't know if Lana covered that with you with the 5 element work that she did with you all. Give me nods or shakes of heads.
Yeah.
Katie's got a frowny face. Yeah. So there is the understanding when you look at chi, that if there's a blockage of it, then you'll feel it in the body. You'll notice a lump or a bump or something that's a bit unusual in the body. Now, yes, of course, it could be a tumor or a fatty lump or, an actual physical mass. But there are times when you will notice that when you stroke the cat, for example, you'll feel a slight raise in the body. So we've got it in Leo, and it's only on one side of it, it's on his right side, and it's around his rib area. And some days I stroke him and it's really pronounced, and it's almost like there is a hard lump that I can kind of wiggle with my fingers. And other days I'll stroke him and there's nothing, absolutely nothing. And I find that so intriguing. Hence why I'm trying to look at the acupressure and things. You know, I'm trying to research which meridian that is. It's linked with his lungs and blah, 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 blah. So when you're looking to do kind of health checks with your cat, you look and see how grubby their ears are, if their teeth are okay, if they'll let you, whether they've got bright eyes, you know, a shiny coat or dandruff or whatever. You know, it's really important to not just stroke them kind of like on autopilot because you want cuddles, or you're going to give them food, or you want, you know, you're having a moment. Be present every now and again. And as you're stroking them, just notice the contours of their body. Notice what feels normal for them as you're stroking down the side of them. Because if you can feel a bit of a lump or a bump, obviously very, very gently, you know, don't go poking at it. You know, use your thumb or like the kind of first knuckle, if you like, of your finger, and just gently kind of palpate it and notice how it moves. Notice how it shifts. Can you feel it on the skin, or is it further down in the tissue? So generally speaking, when you're looking at energy, it will manifest physically as a lump or a bump in the body. How you deal with that depends on how severe it is, how pronounced it is it there all the time? I would always recommend getting things checked by a vet just to be sure. But obviously that depends on the temperament of the cat, the current situation of the home. For example, the lump on Leo's chest, there's no way in hell I'm putting him in a carrier at the moment to get that checked out. If I'd had the sense of mind, I'd have asked him to look at it when he was in, but I was so focused on other things, it didn't come to mind. But because it's there one day and not the next, I know in my intuition, my gut tells me it's energy. And, you know, he's got his ear tipped, so one of his meridians doesn't flow very well. The fact that he's asthmatic means that one of his meridians isn't flowing very well. And the fact that this lump is around his lungs, again, if you put it all together on a piece of paper, do you mean it all connects in? I'm still trying to figure it out myself, but it's just something to mention. So being aware of their physical body, their physical capacity is really important. Doing the health checks, you know, I would say once a month as a minimum. So I look at Leo's ears every now and again. I'll lift his little lip and check that his gums are looking a good color. Always best to do sort of kitten checks from the youngest you've got the cat. If you don't normally do it, then start to now, you know, just sort of gently tilt their ear to one side and have a look and see how it's looking. You know, start and do I think it's a 12 or 24 point check. And just have a look. So as they get older, it's really important to know the changes in their body, just like it's important to know the changes in our body, right? You notice that you've got a bruise, or that doesn't look quite right, or that joint doesn't feel good, or whatever it may be. Now, cats can't tell us that. So we've got to try and use our eyes and our sense of touch to understand them. So I've put a very vague list here, really, just to give you an overview and a few ideas as to what you can do with your cats in terms of how to connect. And that's why I put it in this physical module, because when we think about the physical body, that's when we think about our minds go to physical touch, you know, physical connection. And what I've put in here is a bit of a mixture. So, you know, crystal work, meditation. Yes, you might say they're more for you, but actually we know that cats benefit from it. You know, the Calm Cats meditation classes, the cats are always zoned out. You know, one lady said to me that as soon as I start talking, when I'm welcoming everybody, the cat starts to relax and settle on the bed, you know, and then when we finish and wrap up, the cat starts to wake up. So, you know, we've talked about how receptive they are to our energy. So, you know, crystal work, Reiki, healing, meditation. Yes, it's going to be nourishment for your soul, but in turn, that will also benefit the cat as well. Really, really simple things, just sitting with them, being near them. You know, sometimes Leo will come in and I'm dying to go and have cuddles, scratches on his neck and, you know, try and get a face plant in there because I'm a physical type person, but Leo's not always keen. So today I was just like, do you know what? I'm just going to sit here and be present with you. And I was like, it was really hard, almost like sat on my hands. I'm like, hey, buddy. Just giving him some eye kisses, and he did his little head tilt to me, and he went like this and put his head forward. So I kissed the top of his head. He gave me an eye kiss and he jumped down. And you know what? As much as I wanted to kind of be all in and like physical touch with him, was a very special moment today. It was very tender to connect with him that way, you know. So although we have needs, they're not here to meet them, as I've mentioned before, you know. And if we respect the way they respect the way we are, the relationship can blossom. So obviously I put about remedies, you know, herb gardens, you've all done the work with Niana, essential oils, etc. And then the actual physical contact. So, you know, play, brushing, cutting, cuddles, petting. I was looking at the two together. No cutting. Yeah, quite made me sweaty. Definitely not that. You could have a mixture, you know, and then obviously animal communication, which we've kind of touched on a bit in module 2. And, you know, if you're feeling like you can't quite connect with your cat, or you don't really know what's going on, you've got access to these recordings, you know, for life. So go back and look at that module, do that meditation. You know, if you're having issues trying to figure out what's going on with one of your cats, and you just think, do you know what, I just can't for the life of me pinpoint what is going on. If you can't sit there and connect with your intuition or your heart space yourself, use my words, you know, use the meditation and do it and see what comes through. I'm going to do that in a second. So follow up, there isn't really a huge amount. There's a couple of other books, the Head to Tail Wellness I've mentioned. Obviously, I've got to mention my book, which felt so wrong writing that in there. I've given you a couple of other books tonight. Katie actually has one book that I don't know if I put on the list, How to Heal Your Pet by Elizabeth Whiter. Liz has also done the Animal Healer book, which again is really interesting. You know, people like P. Horsley, she's done 3 books. You know, the couple of authors that I've mentioned, they'll have more than one. They're women that have inspired me. I'm not trying to be sexist, it's just that they're women and they have. You know, obviously for remedies, you know, me, Niana and Caroline Ingram. But the meditation that I've given you for this module is a grounding one. And, you know, it's to really kind of wrap things up and to remind you that when you're struggling or when you feel out of sorts, that is really key. Just under 10 minutes, sitting and putting your roots down, connecting with your energy and your breath. A couple of journal points there for you as well. Entirely up to you whether you do them or not. Obviously, we've got no check-in next week because the course is finished. But I would really encourage you to take the time to do them, just to kind of wrap it up yourself. And I want to say from my heart, thank you for being part of this course as my as the first cohort of this particular one. You know, I was a little apprehensive, and it has been not just my pleasure, but my absolute honor to work with all of you. It has been lovely to see how you have grown and evolved. And it's been lovely to see how much you have brought your awareness of yourself to the forefront of your mind, and that you understand how it affects your cats. Keep it up. You know, this course isn't a flash in the pan. Like I said, you've got the recordings to revisit. Hell, we'll be running it again in October, you know, so if you need to do it again, you know, you want to be part of the course, come and join us again. You know, and don't forget to speak up. And you know, my mission is giving cats a voice. Now I'm trying to do that for every cat everywhere, you know, no small dream. But my cat in my home needs a voice. Your cats in your home, they need a voice, and you are their voice. You know, you are the person that speaks for them, to other members of your home, to the vet, to whoever, but you have the opportunity to be their voice. So speak up. And then next step. So obviously we've got the Naturally Cats discussion group on Facebook. I know Susie and Katie are in it. Sarah, I'm not sure if you're in it. If you want to come and join us, feel free. You are. Lovely. Obviously we're on Facebook, Instagram. So we do the Calm Cats meditation classes monthly. We've got our class next Tuesday. They're usually the first Tuesday of the month, but this month we had to shift it because I've got you lovely ladies tonight. And the Cat Chakra course has been slightly delayed, so that'll be coming in probably early 2020. I'm going to be talking about getting some dates and things finalized. So there's a VIP list. If you haven't already signed up, make sure you sign up to that so you get updates and information before it's shared on social media and things. And I just want to say thank you. But before we go, I should have put my slides in a different order. I just want to hear from all of you. So we've talked about with the previous slide in the journal prompts, what you're going to do with the learning, how you're going to work with your cat, how you're going to support yourself. But I guess for my own peace of mind, I'd really like to know what has been either the biggest or most impactful takeaway for you from the course. So let's start with Katie.
Hello. I think it's just been nice for me to take some time for me, outside of, so I'm still working with cats, but I'm working with me and my cats rather than other people and their cats, which I do like a lot of the time. So it's nice to put some time aside for like my little family. They always come first for me anyway, but I don't take a lot of time just to kind of nourish me. So that's been really nice to do that. And it's been like a really nice, I mean, I've known Sarah for a little while now and she's awesome, and I've seen Susie on different calls but never really spoken much, so it's been nice to get to know her, and it's nice to kind of get to know you more. And I do have so many questions and ideas that I do want to pick your brain about, and collaborations and ideas and all that stuff, so my brain doesn't shut off. But yeah, it's always just like the really annoying thing since I've started learning is like each thing opens my mind to about 4 or 5 new things, and then I'm like, oh, now I've got all these new things to study, which is great, but also like, oh man, when am I going to find the time? And it was your Instagram that got me to really go down the holistic route more, and to be like, oh, I didn't know you could kind of do all the stuff I've kind of known about and studied with humans. It didn't occur to me to try it with the cats. So like crystals, herbs, Reiki, all of that. I was like, why have I never considered it before? It makes so much sense, but it was, I don't know how I found your Instagram. I think it must have been recommended to me or something when I first started. And that was like the gateway. So you're my gateway drug.
Brilliant.
Basically. And I always just have you in my head as one of my mentors. Oh. And you have been since I started. So I just never, so thank you for that. Don't know if you know that, but yeah.
You're very welcome. It's great to hear that, to inspire one person, what a legacy, inspire 10, this makes no difference. You know what I mean? To be able to help people to find a path that makes them happy, that's all I could ever ask for, so I'm glad.
Well, you led me to Nayana and to Liz, and then Nayana's led me to Tallgrass, and then there's all these other things, and I'm now like starting to think about, I've studied chakras for years for humans, and now it's like, oh, of course cats have chakras. how is there not? So I'm like, do the chakra course, do it, because the Reiki I learned wasn't chakra based.
Right.
At all. So yeah, but I love how it's like one thing leads to the next, leads to the next, leads to the next.
Yes.
You should definitely look up Kathleen Prasad in America, and the Let Animals Lead School of Reiki. I think you'd really like her stuff. And I think Susie would too. And she would also like Alison McKinnon, who I studied with in Scotland, who has studied with Nayana in the past, and they know each other really well. It's such a small world. So yeah, and then the next person I've got to look at is that other lady that did a webinar with you, one of the Carolines, but not Caroline Ingram, the crystal lady.
Caroline Thomas.
Yeah, her.
Yeah,
the one that does the back flower and the crystals. So that's like on my radar to do at some point. And that's your fault as well.
Breath.
That's your fault too. So stop it.
Thanks.
That's why I can't come to all your stuff, because it's like, no, it's like 5 more people for me to do courses with.
That's one hell of a takeaway. Okay, so your card, which is hilarious, and I think you tell me if you had this last time, is Stay Playful. Did you have that last time?
I had that one at the start.
Feel like that was Sarah's. Yeah.
Interesting. So that was yours, Miss Katie. Stay Playful.
Yeah, I think I'm quite playful.
Well, you mentioned in the beginning that it's been nice to have that connection, and actually now you want to hang on a second.
Noises outside.
Husband's coming up to run a bath for me.
Oh.
I know, I was like 10 to 9, can you come up and run a bath?
My ex-husband used to do that. I'd text him on the way home and I'd be like, I'm coming home, put the bath on. So that'll be Jamie's job.
Nice. Yeah, you were saying at the beginning about, you know, you enjoy being with everybody and, you know, it's been giving you a chance to do stuff for yourself, but there's stuff that you want to do to top your sparkle jar up. So, you know, stay playful, do the stuff that gives you joy, you know. Okay, Sarah, how about you?
Well, I got everything out of it and way more than I was expecting, because I wanted to explore the emotional and energetic side of things. And what I found has been incredibly healing. So, so yeah, it's just been beautiful. And I thank you from the bottom of my heart, whether you think you deserve it or not. It's been incredible. And it wouldn't have happened without you. So, and thank you, Katie and Susie, as well, for being the best people to do it with.
Indeed.
It's been felt very loving and supportive. So, and I've said things that I probably wouldn't have said to other people. It's just been a really nice space, and I really appreciate it. Good. And at the end of the day, it's benefited the cats, my cats, and it will benefit other cats that I work with in future through APA. So yeah,
definitely, that's wonderful. And it's been our pleasure, you know, my pleasure certainly, to hold the space for you all. It has been a lovely group. And your card says be independent. Can you see that? Okay, Susie.
Yeah, well, I echo everything the other two have said, really, with as far as, yeah, it's been lovely sharing space with you. It's been lovely to get to know you both. It's been lovely working with you, Julianne. Yeah, thoroughly enjoyed every minute of it. It's been really great. What I've taken away from it mostly is that you've connected me with my heart space. I have found my heart space, and that is just mind-blowing. It's just incredible. You know, it's incredible. So many things over so many years have fallen into place these last couple of weeks.
Oh wow, that's good.
Beautiful.
Or rather, I've been able to full moon them away, you know.
Yeah.
It's been, yeah, it has been quite profound, actually.
Oh, good.
So, and the cats can only benefit from that, having a mum who's more centered and happier.
Oh yeah. Yes. That's the bottom line, ladies. You know, all the work that you've done, all the learnings that we've shared, the cats will benefit. You just need to, you know, put it into practice. And even the work that you've done with the healing and the energy exchanges that have happened over these 4 weeks will still have benefited them, you know. Susie, your card says appreciate what you have.
Yep.
Is that
definitely?
So that's it. That's the end of the first ever Connected Cats course.
No.
We're not having it.
Thank you. I will get the follow-up email to you tomorrow. Can I ask you all if you would mind filling out a feedback form for me? I will make it anonymous, you know, so you don't have to say who you are, and please be as honest as you can. You know, your feedback will help me to, you know, make the course better for other people, to tweak things that weren't quite right or didn't feel good for you. And, you know, any feedback that you could share, I would really appreciate it. I think there's about 6, maybe 7 questions. So yeah, if you could just take a few minutes in the next day or two, just while the course is kind of fresh in your mind, I would be really grateful. And there is a box at the bottom that just says, would you mind if I share some of your words anonymously with people on social media so that I can explain to them, you know, what they could get from the course? Again, yes or no, it's just a tick box. I absolutely won't be offended if you say no. And thank you to those of you that, you know, you've commented on posts and I put them out there about the next intake, because there's nothing as powerful for marketing in terms of, you know, getting people to understand the value of something than you know, word of mouth and people sort of speaking up. So thank you very much. It's been a real honor. It's been a fabulous course, and I'm actually a little bit sad that I won't have you ladies here next week. Thankfully, I've got something to fill the void, because we've got we've got calm cats next week. But I think after that, I will definitely feel that the heart-shaped hole from being with you ladies. So thank you for being with me. Thank you for embracing my crazy way of teaching, because it's not always as linear as I planned for it to be. And thank you for being here. It's been lovely.
Well, thank you.
Thank you.
It's been amazing.
I will let you all enjoy the rest of your evening. I'm going to go and enjoy my bath, and I will speak to you all soon. Take care of yourselves, and you know, be kind to yourself as you go about the rest of your day and into the foray that is life as we continue on. And I will speak to you all soon, ladies. Lots of love. Bye for now. Bye.